Welcome to Natural Food Series. Today we will be looking at ways to get rid of pot-belly stomach. Getting rid of your pot belly in a few months is not only achievable but also extremely easy if you are consistent in your approach and follow some of the steps we outlined. There is no reason for you to walk around with an excessive amount of belly fat, when it endangers your health, and can really take a toll on your self-confidence. You can get the body you deserve, sooner rather than later. Ready to learn about some of the most effective and proven ways to lose that pot belly once and for all? Please subscribe to our channel and turn on your post notifications. 17 tips on how to get rid of a pot belly. 1. Exercise. Making the list when it comes to losing body fat, which includes belly fat, is exercise. Depending on exactly how much belly fat you need to get rid of, you can start off by exercising about 3 times per week. Be sure to include weightlifting or resistance exercise, along with cardiovascular exercise to ramp up your metabolism and promoting utilization of fat. 2. Modifying your diet. The approach you take to losing belly fat needs to be a bit different from that of other parts of the body, especially since belly fat is much more resistant to being burned for energy. In general, many of the principles still hold true, such as reducing net calories over the course of the day by limiting your consumption of carbohydrates and sugars and emphasizing higher quality fats. The addition of omega-3 fish oils and conjugated linolenic acid can significantly help promote body recomposition, which includes removal of belly fat. 3. Use probiotics. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria that reside naturally in our intestines, and actually comprises a large part of the immune system. Even though probiotics are important to our immune system, they can make a huge difference in the amount of belly fat we carry around. Especially if you are a leaner individual and do not think the bloating in your abdomen is as a result of excess fat accumulation. 4. Consume more soluble fiber. Consuming fiber is a very important part of a balanced diet, but when you're trying to lose belly fat, it becomes even more important. While both types of fibers play important parts in the diet, this includes insoluble and insoluble fiber. When you're trying to rapidly lose belly fat, soluble fiber trumps the other. How exactly does it do this? For one, universally all types of fiber are known to help suppress appetite, by helping you to feel fuller. Of course, this translates to a reduced number of calories consumed over the course of the day. 5. Cut back on the booze. Alcohol is quite likely one of the most nutrient-empty beverages human beings are known to consume in abundance. Yes, there is evidence that consumption of a small amount of red wine daily is actually beneficial for your health, but that aside, the majority of alcohols do nothing for you. You might have noticed that the classic beer belly, an accumulation of fat in the abdominal region even in the absence of overall obesity, is extremely prevalent in people that drink, as the name suggests, beer. 6. Meditate. Meditation has proven itself to be one of the most effective ways to reduce and manage stress and cortisol levels. Your ability to not become stressed out ensures that your cortisol secretion is modulated. Reduced frequency of cortisol spikes equates to a lesser accumulation of abdominal fat. 7. Eat more protein. Protein is one of the most important macronutrients when it comes to recovery and our overall health. Critically involved in every body's process, from muscle building to immune system defense efficiency and recovery of damaged cells. In the context of being beneficial for belly fat reduction, protein plays its hand here thanks to its ability to kickstart your metabolism. Every time you consume food, our body needs to expend a certain amount of calories to break down this food, otherwise known as metabolism. Of the 3 major macronutrient groups, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins possess the highest thermic effect of them all. This means that when we eat proteins, a large proportion of the calories, sometimes between 20 to 40% of the net calories we consume, are used just for the processing of this food. 8. Restrict carbohydrates. By far one of the most sustainable and effective ways to reduce body fat has to be carbohydrate restriction. There are many different versions of low-carb dieting that exist today, but the most effective of them all has to be the ketogenic diet. The ketogenic diet involves a significant restriction of carbohydrates, usually a maximum of 50 grams per day, and increasing the consumption of high-quality fats while keeping protein consumption moderate. Wondering what the science behind the ketogenic diet is? The body's primary and preferred energy source is glucose. In the absence of this fuel, or when it is restricted, our body makes metabolic adaptations to start utilizing stored fat for energy. 9. Keep a food and exercise diary. Tracking is essential when you're trying to optimize your diet to find what you respond best to. It is important to note that just because we advocate keeping a journal, this does not mean that you need to do so for the rest of your life. It is merely for an introductory phase as you become familiar with average caloric loads, and which foods your body responds best to. This way it is also easier to track changes that you make so that you can come much closer to your goal of eliminating belly fat. 10. Try some thermogenic foods. There are many thermogenic foods in the world. Even foods high in protein can be considered thermogenic as they indirectly cause your body to use more calories. However, keeping true to the name, thermogenic foods would more accurately represent those such as hot peppers, or green tea. Consumption of these foods actively cause the body to burn more calories at rest, or while actively involved in exercise. 11. Attempt intermittent fasting. As the name might suggest, intermittent fasting refers to periods of abstaining from all foods, interspersed with sessions where you are allowed to re-feed and fuel your body. There are many different approaches to intermittent fasting, but the most common would have to be the 16-8 approach. In this style of intermittent fasting, you are required to fast 16 hours per day, and for 8 hours you are allowed to eat. You can, of course, tailor this approach to however you feel comfortable, but this is just an example of how easy it can be. Periods of intermittent fasting that last up to this amount of time have shown to induce beneficial metabolic changes, without tripping the human starvation mechanism. 12. Get more sleep. Not only does sleep help with recovery, in fact, it is essential for normal cellular recovery, but it also helps to hit the reset button on the various hormones and neurotransmitters that are produced and used in the body over the course of the day. A large part of this sleep deprivation and potbelly link has to do with the hormone cortisol once again, which ends up being chronically elevated for several hours throughout the day, and in severe cases, chronically elevated. 13. Go for a run. There is no doubt about it, aerobic or cardiovascular exercise is extremely effective for losing weight over the course of several months, and from all parts of the body. When it comes to your potbelly, it can actually help you lose it in a few additional ways as well. 14. Drink lots of water. First and foremost is water's ability to blunt appetite. When you're trying to lose that potbelly, you will have to limit and restrict your overall calorie consumption. Drinking a glass or two of water before a meal will help you feel fuller, and can even help you to eat less. In addition to this, virtually all of the body's metabolic processes require water to be done. If you are dehydrated, metabolism slows down, and you may end up blunting your quest to lose that potbelly. Tired of water? There are a few alternatives you can go for. Green tea, black coffee, and to a very limited extent flavored water substitutes are acceptable. 15. Invest in a pedometer. What is a pedometer, you ask? To put it simply, a device that measures the number of steps you take every day. You've probably seen people counting their steps, and for good reason. A pedometer can help you reach your goals easier. Most people strive for 10,000 steps, but if you can safely or comfortably do more every day. Walking is a very good way to burn fat and lose weight. 16. Get familiar with meal prep. If you have a full-time job, it can be nearly impossible to make fresh home-cooked meals every single day, multiple times daily. The best solution for this is to prepare your meals in bulk on the weekend. You do not need a massive repertoire of cooking skills in order to make palatable foods. Diligent meal prep is the thing that can make a difference in your life. 17. Use more coconut oil. Coconut oil is a rich source of medium-chain fatty acids, better known as MCTs, medium-chain triglycerides, which bypass liver metabolism and assist with the production of ketone bodies. Ketone bodies are used as alternative fuel sources in the absence or scarcity of glucose. Because of its speed of action, coconut oil is especially attractive for getting you on your feet when consumed first thing in the morning. It can also stimulate metabolism, and reduce the overall likelihood of the body storing excess calories as fat. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.